All right, welcome everybody to SR Broadcasting. We're here tonight with GAC, the 360 Sprint Dirt Cars at USA Speedway, race number 4 of the 12 race series here in the dirt. I'm Paul and I'm with Joe tonight. What's up there, Joe?
Oh, not much, sir. A little tired, but doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just ready to get this going here, man. It looks like it's pretty good. We've been watching these guys go around for a little bit as we got set up here, and seems like they're doing pretty good out here. Should be a pretty good race. This is race number 4 out of the 12, and I think we're going to see some pretty good racing here. Once we just got to see, we saw a little issue last week with, when the track changed, it never really was green long enough to make that much of a difference. A little bit slippery, so hopefully we can see a little bit better uh, in that way tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, this track's a lot of fun. It's quite a bit wider than the one they were at last week. So even if these guys do start slipping around a little bit, at least they have some more space to try and catch it. So I think we'll see a pretty good race here tonight.
And we're looking right now 75 degrees, 102 track temperature, 45% humidity, clear skies. So hopefully we'll see this track dry out, because when it dries out, you start searching around for grip. The line changes, and it makes things a lot more interesting. So hopefully we'll see that here tonight. We want to give a shout out to Shane Gross and his wife. He's not going to be here tonight. They're having a baby, and GAC boys and everybody just want to wish them well, wish everything goes good, and want to hear and see some pictures after everything's all said and done that baby and mama are doing good.
Yes, sir. Hopefully everything goes smooth, and congratulations to those guys.
And Shane, if you're listening or you get a chance to listen in, just know the GAC boys wish you well. They got you in your thoughts, and want to know when the baby's here and how everybody's doing. Let's look at the points here tonight coming into tonight's race. We got Tony Gray, your leader. Dean Viney sitting in second. Mark Tauscheck sitting in third. Michael Palmer in fourth. Dwayne LaPrade taking the top 5. Chuck Shaw Jr. is in 6. John Estes is rounding out in 7. David Gainforth sitting in 8th. Billy Rodenberger's in 9th. Randy Perdue is 10th. 11th is Jim Locking. 12th is Kevin Cornelius. 13th is Ralph Connor Jr. And 14 is Shane Gross. Obviously, he'll lose a couple spots tonight, but, I'd say it's worth it for having a baby. So congratulations on that. But that's your point standings right there in the for the championship race here. So 12 races, and we will have a champion. So far, Tony Gray's been able to stay out front and hold on to that lead, looking for a 3-time back-to-back championship.
Yeah, he started out this season strong. He's won 3 races this season, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, I mean, he started 3 for 3, and he's leading the practice charts right now, so he's definitely proven he's a force to be reckoned with here for the championship.
Yeah, we were just watching right now Dean Viney in that 71. I was kind of goofing with Joe a little bit earlier about a gnat that he had flying around him, and trying to get his Red Bull. And I said, yeah, man, I want some Taco Bell to go with my Red Bull.
Yeah.
But it looks like we got 14 guys out here, and they're warming up right now. Let's see. Let's take a look at who's where. Let's take a look at Dwayne LaPrade in at number 13. Mark Koshik sitting in third. LaPrade sitting second right now, so having a pretty good warm-up. Dean Viney, Ralph Connor, Michael Palmer. So we got a bunch of guys up front, and they're They're pretty close up in the points too, so definitely a good run here tonight will keep these guys further up in the front.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the season. Like you said, this is the 4th race, so there's still plenty of time for things to happen, guys to make up some ground and try to capitalize on some other mistakes too. So it's far from over here. We're not even halfway through, so it could get pretty interesting.
Been a while since I've been in been in one of these 360s. I was watching I forget who it was. I was watching somebody the other day in the 410s, and I tried the 410s a couple of times, but I struggled in the 360s, so never mind getting into 410s. But they look pretty interesting, but it looks like you run a totally different line in those 410s than you do in the 360.
Yeah, they're a little different, just the horsepower difference. I've run them a few races in those. It seems like I'm okay if the track doesn't get that really dry, slick part to it. I start to struggle, so I just can't keep the power down once it gets to that point. But they're a lot of fun. You can pull some wheelies that you weren't really anticipating. It makes it kind of scary.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a couple of guys on the start launching, and I mean, the front end just go right up. We're just riding around with Dwayne LaPrade, checking out a couple of different camera angles tonight. Try to give you a little bit more. Looking at Len McNeese sitting right now in 9th in that number 84. Michael Palmer in that 31 sitting in 6th. And Randy Perdue, he's sitting in 7th. Let's see, where's John Estes in the number 72? He's sitting in 11th. Oh, and we see him hit the wall. And that infamous invisible wall right there, you see it just throw his car right up.
No, Len was on vacation last week, so he didn't get to race. I'm sure he's looking to have a good run here tonight. I know that there's quite a few guys that really love doing the dirts stuff and racing these sprint cars. So hopefully, like you said, we have a good race tonight. These guys put on a good show. Track's a little wider than what we had last week, and see how it goes.
Yeah, and you can see right now from where we're sitting here by the pit lane exit, you can see some of the rubber starting to build up on the track already, and they've been in warm-up, about a half hour. So hopefully we'll get to see a little bit of this build up during the race. See guys start switching lanes. Some guys will be running down low, some guys will be running up high, but it'll definitely come in. And you're going to have to find out where your car is turning to. But it looks really good. There's a lot of rubber down right now. I mean, there was a lot of laps put down over here. So while these guys go in their driver's meeting, let's go ahead and run our anthem. And then we'll come back and see who's going to be out on the top and start this thing. So we'll be right back, everybody.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with glory from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on me, and he crowned Tiger with brotherhood from sea, a shining sea.
All right, we're back here with GAC. They're going to be finishing up their meeting here in a little less than 2 minutes before we go to qualify. Let's see, next week, GAC is going to be at Lanier. That should be a pretty good race. October 2nd, 2017, Lanier Speedway. That's another track that just came out on iRace in the dirt. So I haven't seen anything there yet. Have you, Joe?
Yeah, I don't like that track.
You been on it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess just certain tracks suit certain people, and that one hates me. So I'll be happy to just be able to watch that one and not have to be on track.
Yeah, I think I tried it in the UMP car, but I couldn't really get a great handle on it, and I didn't have that much time to mess around with it. I went and got it, thinking I was going to like it, but not really a great big fan of it so far. I think once I learn the setups a little bit on there and I can change things up a little bit, make it drive a little bit better, I may enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be pretty easy on the throttle, I'd say. Some level of finesse definitely makes the car more difficult to drive. It's not like the sprint cars, the lower horsepower sprint cars where you can just hammer down and go. You definitely have to work the throttle, and it makes it difficult for sure.
All right, we're getting ready to go to qualify here. So let's see who's going to get out first. We'll go ahead and get around with them, and we'll watch the ticker up here and see who takes the top 3 spots, and the other one will be scrolling through, and I'm sure we'll see names moving back and forth. Looks like first guy out is going to be Mark Tauscheck, so let's go take a ride with him. See him in that number 33. Got that nice throwback scheme.
It looks like we got a few guys on track. I'm curious to see if we're going to see some of what we saw last week. Qualifying times being a little slower just because of different track conditions.
Yeah, you can see where the track is cleaned up now. The rubber's gone. So we're going to have to lay down some more rubber on here if we want to get it going. Looks like Mark Tauscheck sitting in second. Ralph Connor moves to third.
Looks like Tony Gray so far at the top of the charts. Ralph Connor moves up to third. Michael Palmer fourth. Harvey Scott in fifth currently. Now down to sixth.
Yeah, Michael Palmer just grabbed that 5th spot. Jim Locking right now shown in 8th. Getting some pretty good speeds going in. Getting up to about 108 miles, I saw right there. Randy Perdue slowing it down. Riding with John Estes in at number 72. John right now sitting in 11th. Billy Rodenberger going for a ride. And let's look at Harvey Scott right now in 8th.
How about Dean Viney jumping up to 2nd place?
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, he got a really good lap there. I think the closer to the front that you can start, the better off you're going to be. So definitely going to help him. Here's Billy Rodenberger back out one more time in that number 74. He's sitting 14th right now. See him right up against the wall. Probably not liking the way the track feels because definitely changed. See, he does like me. I get way wicked sideways like that, man. It looks like Tony Gray going to be your pole setter here tonight. Tony Gray trying to hang on to that lead. Wants to stay up on top. Get a triple back-to-back, man. That'll be, I believe, a first for GAC. So we're going to have to see what happens here tonight. Still got plenty of racing left, though. There's a lot more tracks coming up. A lot more chances for other guys to capitalize. It's still early.
Yeah, I agree. It's only going to take a couple mistakes, and it could really shuffle up the standings. So, like we said earlier, it's far from over. Anything can happen at this point.
So we're just waiting for Qualify to finish and grid up. Let's take a look one more time at the points while we're waiting. Oh, giving me a hard time, huh? And these are the way the guys are standing right now before they start tonight's race. Tony Gray is your leader. And Dean Viney, who will be starting second here tonight, is sitting in second. So he's got a pretty good shot at it if he can keep that car clean and get out in front of Tony and keep it there. I'm just waiting here for Qualify. Seems like it's on the slow clock today, huh?
Hey, just a little bit. Either that or the guys were on the fast clock trying to get it over with.
Yeah, here we go. All right, let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. Tony Gray will be starting on the pole. Dean Viney will be starting second. Mark Tauscheck will be starting third. Ralph Connor Jr. will start fourth here tonight. Starting fifth is Dwayne LaPrade. Michael Palmer will start sixth. Randy Perdue going to take seventh. Harvey Scott going to be starting eighth here. Ninth will be Jim Locking. 10th is Len McNeese.
Starting 11th will be John Estes. Billy Rodenberger starting in 12th. Chuck Shaw Jr. starts 13th, and rounding out the field in 14th is Paul Cohen.
Awesome, man. We're here tonight, USA Speedway with GAC. Going to be a pretty good race.
I hope so. We got 42 laps here tonight, so guys, these races go by pretty quick, but that's still enough time to make it happen here.
Yeah. That's the one thing I always say with these races. They're really good, but just when you start to get into it, man, it's, you come into 3 to go, 4 to go. I know, what was it, last week? I was surprised to see, we were down to 4 to go. And I was like, wow, man, that was pretty quick. I see on the number 1, Ralph Connor Jr., Mighty Mouse on there, man. I haven't seen Mighty Mouse in a long time. Old cartoon from when I was a kid. I think now you can't watch it because it's offensive, but it was a great cartoon when I was a kid.
Everything's offensive anymore. Yeah, I remember watching that when I was little. It's pretty cool to see that out there. Bringing
Alright.
back some old childhood memories.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Mighty Mouse and a couple other good ones that used to be out when we were younger. Even Popeye. I'm sure Popeye would be way offensive nowadays. You know what I mean? But they were good. They were good stuff when we were growing up. So we see the pace truck going around. These guys are lined up side by side. I believe the restarts are going to be single file restarts. Just the main start is double. There is a couple of fast repairs. So, you know, if guys do get into a wreck, they can go ahead and get it taken care of. And the laps do go quick here, so hang tight, and we'll try and stick with it.
Looks like these guys will take one more trip around the track, and then we'll be going green.
My phone thought I said Siri, and it's asking me, can I help you? No.
Mine does that every broadcast.
Like, seriously? There is no helping. All right, Tony Gray on the inside, Dean Viney on the outside. Mark Tauscheck's down low in that inside line. We're getting ready to get these boys green. Looks real nice out there, man. The track looks really good. Pace truck is in. And the green flag is out. Look like Dean Viney with a good start there, man. Oh, we already have a trouble. Look like the 33 of Mark Tauscheck's had gone around.
Yeah, it kind of looked on that restart. A couple guys looked like they tried to time it really well, and it got things stacked up a little bit. And I'm gonna assume that carried into turns 1 and 2 right there.
Yeah, let me just go real quickly back and see if we can see what happened with him. Get a better camera angle here. Watch this restart. Yeah, it looked like 33 looked like he might have had to check up a little bit, and then the 13 of the Prad kind of tapped him, and a few other cars involved, but doesn't look like much damage. So hopefully they can just get this thing back out going and continue on our way here tonight.
That's one thing I've noticed is, and it's not really specific to these guys, it's really any of them. The restarts in these cars are just tough. If some guys get a slow start, or the guys behind try to get a good jump, it can stack things up super fast, and before you know it, you're either involved in something or going 4 wide into a corner. So it all happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, when these cars start getting a little bit wiggly there, man, it's really hard to control. I know, at least for me it is. So we have a taker to the pits. Probably going to go in and get a little bit of damage repaired, which is probably a good idea if you want to be in contention to run. We will see, I believe, a single file restart. If I remember Dean correctly, he's got him set for single file restarts. So that'll help a little bit. The only problem with that is if you're the guy a little bit further back, you got a lot of ground to make up to get back to that leader. So we'll keep an eye. But Tony Gray is out front. Dean Viney sitting in second. Ralph Connor Jr. in third. Dwayne LaPrade in fourth. And Randy Perdue rounding out your top 5. We're just going to wait for the pace truck to turn on in so they can turn on. All right, pace truck goes back in. And we're back green here one more time. Let's get this going. And somebody down into the wall and sideways.
We have another caution
Yeah,
quickly here.
Looked like it might have been Len McNeese and Billy Rodenbarger are the two cars I'm seeing. Let me back up again and take another look. Riding along here with the 84 of Len McNeese on that restart. See the 15 on his outside. Oh, I see Billy Rodenbarger was into the wall. Len McNeese just spun, so let's go back with Billy and see what happened. Let's see, we'll go with the 74 of Billy Rodenbarger. Oh, and he got tagged by somebody. Oh, hang on a second. This changes everything up a little bit. I don't want to miss the start here.
Looks
Oh,
like
it looked like
these-
72 of John Estes. All right. All right, we're lined up one more time. Pace truck lights are still on. See if they go off this time by. Let's take a look at the top five. We got Tony Gray, Dean Viney, Ralph Connor Jr., Dwayne LaPrade, Randy Perdue. Sixth place, Jim Locking. Seventh is Mark Koscheck's. Eighth is Harvey Scott. Nine is Michael Palmer. Rounding out your top 10 is Chuck Shaw Jr.
Yeah, you were saying a little bit ago, these single file restarts, they could be a disadvantage for people in the back. Luckily, there's 14 guys in the field, but I mean, once the green flag waves, you're at a whole straightaway disadvantage. It does make it tough.
It'll be nice when, like I heard a rumor that you're going to be able to do heats and stuff in here and actually set them up in the server. That'll be real nice.
Yep. Pace trucks in. Green flags out. They're back underway.
And you can see the front end of that 71 Dean Viney kind of jump up just a little bit, man. Very easy to lift this front end up in the car. Let's go back a little bit. And somebody into the wall. And that may have been the 84 of Len McNeese. Let's go back real quick. It looks like the 5 of Randy Perdue was the one that got into the wall. Let's go see a little bit closer what happened with him. Nope, I was a little bit off. It was not Randy Perdue, but hopefully we can get this thing going here. Top 5 changed just a little bit. We have Tony Gray, Dean Viney, Dwayne LaPrade, Jim Locking, now Randy Perdue.
Yeah, I think something happened during that last start with Ralph Connor Jr. He's sitting back in 13th right now.
Yeah, he was the car that I saw up into the wall. I thought it was Len McNeese, but it was Ralph Connor. And we have one driver taking the wave around. So these guys are going to get single filed up here and get it back going again. I say let's take a different camera angle here with Dean Viney. We'll take a look from over his left shoulder with a camera mounted on the bar looking over the left front tire. Kind of give you a little bit of a different view starting from second place right here with Dean Viney.
I'm sure these guys are itching to get some green flag laps in.
Yeah, they go so fast. We're already coming to lap 13. All right, pace truck is in. We're inside with Dean Viney on this start, and we're green again. One more time here. See Dean Viney working that wheel. Go back a little bit to the number 5 of Randy Perdue sitting in 5th. See the 91 of Jim Locking right in front of him. We'll go back to 8th to Chuck Shaw Jr. And let's go back to Len McNeese sitting in 9th. Back up Dean Viney right now, about 1 second behind Tony Gray. Right behind him, the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade.
Yeah, he's got the 91 of Jim Locking behind him and the 31 of Michael Palmer right behind him. So 3-car battle there for 3rd through 5th.
And now we're seeing some dirt kick. We're going to see this track change.
Looks like everyone's pretty well single filed out. The closest ones on the track look like the 91 of Jim Locking and the 5 of Randy Perdue.
You see the 5 taking a look underneath.
He's trying to get there. It's hard to, when you don't have the momentum coming off of the high side like that.
And the 31 of Michael Palmer right there with them. Let's jump inside with Michael Palmer. We'll go sitting in his seat. We'll bounce around to a couple different drivers. Back up to Dwayne LaPrade sitting in 3rd. You see Dean Viney right out there in front doing a real good job. And then right in front of Dean Viney,
We have a yellow.
Oh,
Looks like the 5 of Randy Perdue around on the front stretch.
let's go back and take a look what happened with Randy. Oh, it makes contact with the 91 and to the inside wall.
It's definitely a tough break right there. Those guys had a really good battle going on. Unfortunately, if you make some contact like that, it doesn't end too well.
Doesn't look like he's got too much damage. But we see right now Tony Gray out front, 22 laps led, started on the pole, still sitting on the pole. Let's see, get some names up here for people to see who's who. You got Tony Gray sitting up in 1st, Dean Viney right now sitting in 2nd, Dwayne LaPrade in 3rd. Excuse me, Jim Locking up in 4th, and Michael Palmer right now rounding out the top 5 in that number 31. We go back to 6th. We got Harvey Scott in that number 15. The number 1 of Ralph Connor Jr. right now sitting in 7th. Chuck Shaw sitting in 8th. Len McNeese, he's sitting in 9th. And Mark Tauscheck right now got your 10th spot. Paul Cohen sitting in 11th. Randy Perdue shuffled back to 12th after that incident. And Billy Rodenberger 2 laps down, and he is 13th. And John Estes, I don't think is on the track.
Yeah, Ralph Connor seemed like he was on the move that run. He was back in 13th at the start of that, and he picked up 6 or 7 spots pretty quickly. Tony was out to about a 2-second lead. Dean was trying to chase him back down.
Yeah, they had a good run going there. I'll tell you what, Dean looked like he was starting to close in just a little bit. That gap was not widening.
It's like the pace truck hits pit road once again. Green flag's out. They're back underway. It's like your top 3 get a really good start there. Well, your top 5 or 6 actually got a really good start. After 1 lap, we see Tony Gray start to pull away once again. He's got about a half a second lead. Top 3 or 4 spaced out pretty quick. Got side by side with Harvey Scott and Ralph Connor Jr. going into 3. Almost some contact there.
See the 74 there, Billy Rodenberger down low. The 33, Mark Koch, is up high.
Looks like we're going to have a battle for 4th place shaping up here.
Yeah, you got the 15 of Harvey Scott, the 31 Michael Palmer, and the 91 of Jim Locking. Looks like the 31 has the advantage right now, closing in on the 91 of Jim Locking. Dean Viney's only about 6/10 back.
Yeah, he's hanging on very well right now. He's trying to get a couple laps under his belt and try to chase down Tony Gray. Actually, he's a little faster than Tony on that last lap by, so these guys are running pretty close.
A little bit of contact with the 15 and the 31, but they do save it. Great save there by Palmer and that 31, man. Came sliding up, hit him a little bit. Palmer almost up into the wall, and great recovery. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, no, you're good. That let the 15 of Harvey Scott get by. It looked like Michael was going to try to get a run on that outside. Just trying to get that position back.
Yeah, Michael Palmer's doing good here, man. Having a great run so far. Definitely looks like he's getting a handle on these cars. Right now sitting in 6th. And the number 15. Oh, and somebody up into the wall. Looked like Chuck Shaw Jr. And he's going to stay down low real quick while these guys are getting by. Let's go back up and see what happened, man. I saw some flipping going on.
I think there might have been some contact there coming out of turn 2.
Oh, yeah, he made a little bit of contact with that right rear. Flips the car over into the wall, and you see him have to back it down to keep out of the way for everybody. So let's go back up front. Obviously, we won't see anybody come in. You know, you get used to seeing it in the trucks and the Xfinity and the Cup, people coming in, topping off. So you almost kind of expect to see that here, but you're not only really going to come in if you're planning on using that fast repair.
So Tony Gray is still your leader. He's led 33 laps so far. Dean Viney in 2nd place. The 13 of Dwayne LaPrade in 3rd. 91 Jim Locking in 4th. 15 Harvey Scott in 5th.
Then you got Michael Palmer in that 31 sitting in 6th. The number 7, Ralph Connor Jr. Number 1, Ralph Connor Jr. sitting in 7th. Randy Perdue sitting in 8th. Len McNeese in 9th. And Mark Tauscheck's rounding out your top 10. Lights are out.
Looks like we're coming to 7 laps to go this time by.
See Tony Gray up front. Dean Viney right behind him. Truck is in, and they're green.
Looks like Dean was able to get a really good start that time.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple guys a little bit further back hit it up high, bounce off the wall, but they do keep it green.
See the 15 of Harvey Scott driving it in hard contact.
Man. That looked like a pretty hard hit.
It looked like he drove it in pretty hard there trying to make the pass on the outside. I don't think Jim really knew he was there until the last second. Jim was already coming up the track.
Yeah, and if you go, let's go into Jim Locking's car and give you what the driver's seeing. You can see, you can't see anything to your right. Let me find a cockpit view here. So if you look to the right there where he is, Jim can't see him now. You got that big wing hanging down right in your face. That's where they make some contact. Unaffects Jim, but still, you know, you can't see anything out of that right side. So,
And I think we touched on it a little bit in the past where the spotters in the dirt series, it's a little different. The spotters were set up for oval and road racing. Generally, you're not sliding through a corner at a 45-degree angle when you're getting called.
Unless you're wrecking.
Yeah. It doesn't call it out if you're on the right side on the outside of someone. It's kind of late when you get the call. You get it kind of early if they're trying to pass you on the inside. So I'm sure that played a little bit into that.
Looking back from Dwayne LaPrade in 3rd. Jim Locking back here in 4th. Ralph Connor Jr. now in 5th. And we have 3 laps to go, so we'll probably just have a quick 2-lap shootout if it's going to go back green. Looks like the lights are out on the truck, so we should get a quick shootout here. So far, Tony Gray has had the lead the whole race. Dean Viney's been a little bit better on that last restart, so see if Dean can try and maybe get an advantage here and get into that throttle. And we're back green for the final time here tonight.
See another good restart by these top guys. Looked like Dean got a little wiggly there. See 3 wide coming out at 2, more contact.
And we're still almost 3 wide back here.
I think these guys know there's only a couple left to go. They're trying to get some spots, gain more points here.
And we're almost at the checkered flag here. Tony Gray gonna come across and take it. So Tony Gray, your winner. Dean Viney, Jim Locking, your top 3. Man, it's just so quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like it's over 5 minutes after it starts.
42 laps. Tony Gray led all 42. Tony Gray with another win here. So Tony Gray having a really good run, possibility of a triple back-to-back championship after this season's over if he can keep this up.
Hey, he's 4 for 4 so far. He's won every race.
So let's go 3, 2, 1. We'll start with Jim Locking in that 91. Hey, Jim Locking, this is Paul and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I like these races. It's just, man, it seems so short. You know, it seems like once you guys start getting going and start getting things out, the race is over. But you definitely look good out there. You had a good running car. You finished third here, man, and we were watching you battling out there for a while. You feel like you're starting to get the hang of these cars or so?
Well, I'm just being lucky. I think I am getting the hang of it a little bit, but I'm still not very good at it. It's really, these cars are really hard to drive, and you know, I'm glad that the races aren't any longer than they are, because you die of exhaustion.
Yeah. Well, we did talk to you last week, and you had a good finish last week. You have a good finish this week. You're doing pretty good in the points, so you're looking pretty strong here so far, man. Hopefully you can keep it up and, you know, keep things moving. I know when we talked to you last week, we asked if you turned any laps over here at USA, and you said you hadn't yet, but third place finish tonight, man. Congratulations. That's pretty good.
Thank you. It's fun. I'm surprised that I'm doing as well as I am.
Hey, don't you know what I say when it's like that, man? Don't question it. Just go with it, because that run can end anytime. So keep it going, man.
Exactly. Thanks a lot. I will.
Yeah, and next week Lanier. I don't think I've been on Lanier. Joe said he's been on Lanier. Have you been able to turn any laps over there yet?
I don't. Probably give it a couple of shots.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, before we let you get out here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, just the usual guys. For Dean for running a great league, and you guys up in the booth for doing a great job of covering our races. We appreciate it. You guys are great, and thank you for it.
Well, we appreciate it, man, and congratulations on that run, and keep it up, dude. Like I said, you're doing good in the points, and you got 2 podium finishes 2 weeks in a row. Oh, we'll look for you next week, man. Maybe we'll be bringing the checkers.
Well, the way Tony Gray's going, I don't think anybody's going to be getting the checkers besides him. But
I think we might have to go pay.
It would be nice maybe if he crashed or something, but I don't think that'll happen either.
Yeah, we might have to pay him a visit in the garage before the race.
Maybe, like Dean says, throw some sugar in his gas tank.
I'm telling you. All right, man. Good talking to you. Congratulations on the finish here tonight, and we'll keep an eye on you, man.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to have to go down to the garage area and rough Tony up a little bit if he keeps winning these races.
I'm sure they won't mind if that happens.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get a word in here with second place Dean Viney.
Hey, Dean, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you there, Joe.
Oh, man, we saw you have a really strong qualifying effort today. You start second place. You stayed second place the whole time. I know it's pretty frustrating to try to chase guys down. It seemed like every time you were starting to make some gains, the caution would come out. How'd it feel going through all that? I'm sure you knew that you were faster at times.
Oh, there's like you say there, Joe. You know, race went on there. The car felt good and everything, and we had that little run, that little stretch there, Green Run. I kind of found a spot. I felt that the car felt comfortable, and it looked like kind of a weird line, but the car was biting real good, and I was looking, I was like, yeah, I'm making little gains on him here, but then, as you were saying, the caution come out, unfortunately, and Tony's just, he's a tough customer on this stuff, and you got to be up on your game, and it just felt like I just didn't have the motor there tonight, and there on a couple of restarts, I thought if I get that nose or get that front tire there about past his rear tire, I'd get that position on him down low, and I think I could have done something. Because earlier in the race, I tried it up high with him at one point, and he was just getting a better bite down there. So I just thought the best bet was just stay behind him, and see if I could get that quick bite and maybe beat him to that corner. And I just couldn't get her done, and I wasn't going to, you know, ruin my race or his race at that point. Let's, second's better than last. In one sense of speaking. So, we tried, but we just couldn't get her done tonight.
I mean, still, you like we said, you finished second place. You had a really strong showing here. Start second, you finish second, and it's tough. I mean, restarts, they play a huge part into it, and the restarts in sprint cars, I mean, they could be tough. They could be a handful. So I think all things considered, it went pretty well for you guys up there. Next week we head to Lanier. What do you think you have for those guys over there?
Oh, I think Lanier's going to be a interesting track for all of us. Actually, a few of us have maybe ran over there and tested a little bit, and I have myself, and I'm sure some others have. And Lanier's going to be interesting. Yes, I think it'll be a real interesting track, and we'll just have to see what next week happens. I mean, hopefully we can get this Taco Bell 71 in the winning position. But like I say, that 00, he's a tough cookie out here on this dirt stuff, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I agree. It should be a lot of fun. We're only 4 races through. Still a long way left to go. A lot can happen, but if you keep putting runs together like you had here tonight, I think you should be all right. But before we let you go and let you celebrate your good finish tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, kind of off the top here, I'd like to thank Paul and you, Joe, over there, with the SR Broadcasting and the job that you guys do up there. And I know it takes work there on that end too to get this all set up and be able to bring this live on Monday nights. And most definitely everybody here at GAC, I appreciate the job that you both do on that perspective. Other than that, just I'd like to thank all the guys here. Got a good group here, and it's kind of like I say, a new deal for us all here, and trying to make the best of what we can. And hopefully, here as time goes on, we'll be able to bring up a little more green flag runs and everything. But it's been fun, and just like to thank you guys up there, and like I say, GAC and everything that goes on here and the job they do, all the guys and admin behind that scene. And look for next week at Lanier and see what we can bring, see what this 71 Taco Bell machine will do there.
All right, sir. Well, we appreciate the kind words, and we just enjoy being a part of it and appreciate the opportunity to call these races for you guys. And we wish you the best of luck next week.
Thanks, Phyllis.
All right. Congratulations, man.
Thanks there, Paul.
All right. Well, there was Dean Viney. We're going to get caught up here with our winner here tonight, Tony Gray. And we'll get a word in with Tony Gray. Hey, Tony Gray, Paul and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, got you, Paul.
Hey, man, another good run here for you tonight. I think you better watch your back. There's going to be a couple guys in the garage going to start looking for you, man, and try and cross some wires or something and slow you down, man. You came out here on the pole, led all the laps, take home another win. Looking pretty good, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good, man, for sure. Yeah, they always talking about putting sugar in my tank and everything else now, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, like I've said before, man, I love this dirt stuff. It suits me from what I've always done in real life and everything, and I just really love it. Ever since it's come out, I've run as many laps as I possibly could on these things. So I absolutely having a ball right now at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely shows, man. You're leading in the points. I know it's still a long way off. We were just talking to Dean. I mean, anything can happen. There's still a bunch of races left to go, but looking pretty good, man. I know you would like to see that back-to-back third championship and, make a new record here at GAC. And, it's kind of hard to not get excited about it, but at the same token, there's just so many more races to go. But if you keep putting it together like you're doing now, man, it's going to be tough. We got a couple of guys out there. Dean Viney started second. Looked like he was getting pretty strong there. Jim Locking. There's some guys that are starting to move towards the front. And I don't know, man. For our sake, and not for yours, they might be some competition for you a couple races from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think a lot of these guys have messed with the dirt nowhere near as much probably as what I've had. And I've been going back and watching, and like I say, yeah, you've got Dean and Mark Coshet and Dwayne and Jim. I mean, like I say, there's all kind of guys just every week. You just tell they're getting faster and faster, and so it's definitely going to get interesting. The more that we get here towards the end of the season, I know they're going to be trying to make it hard on me, but. Like I say, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing and try to keep it clean. And like I say, anything can happen, especially here on dirt. I mean, whether it's restarts or whatever. So we'll take it as we can get it.
The only thing I'm gonna tell you is, if anybody offers you a drink down there in the pits before the race, don't take it, man.
I know that's right.
But hey, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Just not to change the subject, but I know you run dirt in real life, and now you're running here in these 360s. Do you? I've never run dirt before, so I really can't compare it. But how would you say they captured this? Is it really close?
Me personally, I mean, I know there's other guys that does it and has got on here, and they said that it's really not that close. But to me, it feels really, really close. I think from what they went off of, I think they hit it out of the ballpark. I really do. I mean, the cars to me feel what I feel when I'm in the car. So, I mean, I think they done an awesome job with it.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. And, watching you guys race out there, man, and, seeing the dust and the dirt kick around and you guys sliding through the turns. I mean, it's just like, watching the World of Outlaws, man. And I think in that aspect, it definitely has it. And I really didn't have anything to gauge it by because I never been in a dirt car. So, I always like to ask guys that have drove in a type of car that, we may be putting on racing or something, what they feel. That's good to hear because, we saw Casey Kane and a couple other guys, that came on iRacing when they were putting this all together. And, they had a lot of input and a lot of things to say about it, and they were pretty pleased with it. So good to hear another, confirmation from you, man.
Yeah, like I say, again, I mean, like I say, it's probably not 100%. I mean, of course, because, it's a sim, so you're not going to get it exact. But, yeah, for what they've done and for what it is, I think they hit it out of the ballpark. I absolutely love driving. It don't matter what kind of car it is. If it's on dirt, I love it.
Yeah. Well, you're doing good, man. You had a good, strong run here. You led every lap, started on the pole, take home another win, leading in the points, and just came off of a back-to-back championship. So we'll keep watching you, man. We'll see what you got over at Lanier next week.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Lanier. Like I say, I guess out of all the tracks that they've got right now, I'm going to have to say, even though it just come out recently, Lanier is probably my favorite one. It seems to suit to a lot of tracks that's local to me. So I'm really looking forward to that one for sure.
I know they don't want to hear that, so you better watch out next week.
It's going to get interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah, but we'll be watching, man. And, like I said, man, you got some guys out there that are starting to step up. So maybe they'll be knocking on your door soon, man, on these tracks. But congratulations again on that win. And before we let you get out of here, man, anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Dean and Lynn over here at GAC, all the guys over here, like I say, putting up on the league and everything they do behind the scenes. Really appreciate everything they do. I'd like to thank my teammates. Definitely got to give a shout out tonight to Shane Gross, my teammate over at Old School Motorsports. Him and his wife are in the hospital right now. She's expecting a baby here tonight, so haven't heard if she's had it yet, but got to give a shout out. Then we're going to have another little racer in the Old School's Motorsports team. And like I say, I'd like to thank SR Broadcasting, you and Joe, everything y'all do up in the booth. Appreciate what y'all do broadcasting. Yeah, got to give a shout out to my wife tonight, everything she puts up with me with. So.
Yeah. Congratulations, man. Yeah, we were talking about Shane a little bit earlier. We told him if he hears anything or anything from here, we, send us some pictures and, update everybody on the status that mom and baby's doing good. And we, got them all on their thoughts for everything to be quick and painless.
Exactly. Yeah, we've been praying all day for her, so hopefully everything turns out good.
All right, man. So you go celebrate. We'll look for you next week at Lanier. Congratulations again on the win and the run here tonight, buddy.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Sir, congratulations, Tony.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man.
So there you have Tony Gray, your winner here tonight. Let's just take a quick look at what the points were coming in tonight. You see, Tony Gray is your points leader. This was coming into the race. Dean Viney was in second, and he does finish second. Mark Tauscheck, Michael Palmer, Dwayne LaPrade, Chuck Shaw Jr., John Estes, David Gameforth, Billy Rodenberger, Randy Perdue, Jim Locking was 11th coming in. He got a third place finish tonight, so that's probably going to move him up a little bit more. Kevin Cornelius, Ralph Connor Jr., and Shane Gross. So we'll look next week and see what we got, after tonight's race. I think they did a pretty good job here, Joe.
Yeah, I think so too. Still pretty new to some of these guys, but I can see they're getting more comfortable. Guys are starting to be able to drive the cars a little harder, seeing some more confidence out of these guys. So it's good. It's only a matter of time now before they start to put it all together, and I'm sure we're going to see some awesome racing here.
And don't forget, next week, Monday night, Lanier, 8:45 right here, GAC, Lanier Dirt, and going to be pretty good. It's a new track that iRace just, scanned and put together out here. A lot of people been on it. They like it. They say it's a pretty good deal. So GAC will be here for race number 5 at Lanier. So we'll be here to bring it to you and see who's going to step up, see if anybody's got anything for Tony, and hopefully not beat him up in the garage. So, I don't know, man. When you're that fast, man, you start got to watching over your shoulders.
You know how those short track dirt racers can be in real life. You see plenty of fights. So,
Yeah. So I told him, don't drink anything they offer you, man. It ain't going to work. All right, let's run over the results here tonight. Tony Gray, your winner. He'll take it home first. Dean Viney with a great finish. He takes home second. Jim Locking, 2 weeks in a row, podium finish. So Jim Locking definitely moving in the right direction. Michael Palmer, very strong out there, finishes 4th. Randy Perdue, he'll take home the top 5 spot. Ralph Connor Jr. will finish 6th. Len McNeese does move up to 7th. Dwayne LaPrade will finish 8th. Mark Tauscheck will finish 9th. And Paul Cohn will round out the top 10.
Finishing 11th tonight will be Chuck Shaw Jr. Billy Rodenberger finishes 12th. 13th is Harvey Scott. And rounding out the field in 14th is John Estes.
Yeah, so that's all we got for you here, folks. We'll see you next Monday night at Lanier at 8:45. We hope you liked it. And the GAC boys are doing good. This is their first season in the dirt. These cars are definitely not the easiest to drive for some of us that are asphalt guys. So, each race you can see these guys start stepping it up. You're seeing more and more of these drivers starting to put it together and get comfortable with it. So, definitely going to see a lot more racing here. 12 races in the series. This was race number 4. So, till next Monday, be safe, everybody. Joe, thanks again for joining me in the booth. I do look forward to having you up here with me, man.
Oh, no problem, sir. I enjoy being a part of it. I appreciate the opportunity. And if anybody watching out there, you guys like what you see, like, subscribe, and join us next week.
Yes, sir. Definitely always do that. Alrighty. Have a safe race week, everybody. We'll see you next Monday.